Hi everyone, LJ Aguinaga here with LJ Realties, and this week I'm going to talk about a question that I got from our videographers actually. They asked, hey LJ, do you think it's a good idea to invest in a building where we will actually have our commercial space for our office, as well as potentially residential units on top of it? Is it a good idea for a small business essentially to purchase a real estate building? And the answer is yes. And I speak from experience right now. I actually recently purchased a building where we will be moving our offices to on Charlevoix Street, and at the same time developing residential units on top of it and beside it. The reason why this is a good idea is because there is nobody who's going to take better care of the space than yourself, pardon me. And if you're the one occupying the space, you get to actually put your rent payments essentially into capitalizing the mortgage, so paying down the mortgage. Yes, obviously there's an interest perspective, but it'll be less than just giving away in rent. You still get to write it off like you would on a regular rent payment, plus you're gonna have additional cash flows from the other units. Now, you obviously have to keep in mind that you will be responsible for tax payments, insurance, and maintenance of the building, but taxes, more times than not, you're already being passed on from the landlord anyways, and the other things end up being pretty standard. If you renovate the building right away or choose to do it in a few years, these are things that are very manageable. So if you can invest in a building and start having an asset within your company that will continue to grow in value, you could also structure it in a holding company if potentially your accountant says that makes more sense. We can discuss that at a later date as well. But again, like in every other video, if you can get into the market and you can own your own building and you can manage as well who's going to be in the space or not, it's a huge plus. The other reason why this is a great idea is because I saw it again recently 2 weeks ago. A friend of ours was kicked out of their space. Their landlord wanted to increase rents after 15 years in the space. He didn't agree with the increase, especially with everything going on. He felt that they were already paying sufficient rent. He ended up being forced out of the space essentially. So by owning your space, you don't ever have to worry about having to find a new location, having to shift everything around, and having to rebuild your customer base depending on the type of business that you have. So if you can purchase a building, it's definitely a great idea to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Comment below what your thoughts are on the subject. Take care.